And joining us, our man at the movies, is Collie McFadden. A very good afternoon to you, Collie. You're looking well today.
Thank you very much. I have the filters on in Zoom, to make me a bit more Hollywood. Seeing as we're talking about Hollywood, or more New York this week, actually, I need to look my best, especially as now we're videoing it and it goes up on the Facebook site as well. So if ever you saw
all live.
Two men with the face for radio and so on. But look, we're going to talk about the movies anyway, and we've some big ones to talk about this week.
Yeah. How has it been in the cinema, though, all week now? Crowds are back in the cinema.
It's really busy. It's great to see. And it's just, people are so happy to be back in the cinema, but not just back in the cinema, all the things that we took for granted. Isn't that the case? I think going for a coffee, going for a walk and see. Sunday, I think, in Bundoran summed it up nicely, right? It was a beautiful morning and afternoon. Everyone came down to the beach, surf is pumping, surf lessons, people out walking, aside from the amusements that weren't open yet, but everything else, ice creams. And then, being Ireland, it started raining in the afternoon, so they all came to the cinema. So win-win for everyone. And it was great, but that's the way it should be. And everyone was saying, wow, it feels normal. And I'd forgotten how much just going for a Sunday afternoon stroll and a 99 or a bag of popcorn and a good movie, what a difference make, how much we've missed it.
Absolutely. Come here, we're going to kick off with something fast and furious.
Indeed.
Number 9.
Yes, well, and I have to say, and I'll probably talk about this more next week when we do the review, I started off very much as a Fast and Furious skeptic, and I was working with young teenagers at the time, and predominantly young teenagers from Spain and France, who loved Fast and Furious, and particularly Too Fast, Too Furious, which as an ex-teacher offended me on grammar and also just as a movie. Yet, the more ludicrous they've become, the more fun they've become. And I'm actually come around to it. I really enjoyed the last two. Once they brought The Rock in and stopped taking any bit of seriousness in them and really sort of thrown the kitchen sink at it. I think it's been, and with Jason Statham, it's been really good fun. And this looks like good crack again. Now, it's not actually open till next Thursday. And we wouldn't usually mention that because obviously we're on Thursdays, and we would say it now. But the tickets are on sale, and it is one thing to be aware of everywhere, is that because, everything's great and everything's safe with COVID and so on, but the attendances are allowed are smaller. So things are selling out more. And I know there's lots of mum and dads who'll be looking to bring people on a treat. We don't want anyone disappointed. So the tickets are on sale. So just be aware that for the big screenings in the evenings, people should maybe think about buying in advance if possible. But it's open on Thursday. I'll have seen it by next week. The first showing is early, so and we'll review it next week and see if it's as much nonsense and as much fun as the last couple. Let's fingers crossed. I think it could be good.
Okay, I'm going to get my dancing shoes on next because I'm going to need it for this.
Okay, so we've got In the Heights. I suppose I'll mention it after the clip, which will set it up. But talk about things we need for the sunshine to kick off the summer. We've got the new musical for Lin-Manuel Miranda from Hamilton. It's called In the Heights. It's set in New York. And I think this will give you a taste of what it's like.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land called Washington Heights. Say it so it doesn't disappear.
Washington Heights!
Lights up on Washington Heights, up at the break of day. I wake up and I got this little punk I gotta chase away. Pop the grate at the crack of dawn, sing while I wipe down the awning.
Hey, y'all, good morning.
Ice cold piragua, cherry, strawberry, and just for today, I got my mate.
It's a story of a block that was disappearing.
The genius is back!
Yo, here's your chance, ask her out right now. Hey!
There's something on your shirt.
Smooth operator, all damn.
We all had a sueñito. And when it came to dreams, we had to keep scraping by.
Maybe this neighborhood's changing forever. Maybe tonight is our last night together, however.
I just want to see the whole world through her eyes.
They're talking about kicking out all the dreamers. It's time to make some noise.
We had to assert our dignity in small ways. Little details that tell the world we are not invisible.
This is the moment when you do better than me. Because you can see a future that I can't.
But we go, we rap for people and then we go!
You made all of this?
This is me.
they used to say, if you work hard, you live by the rules, the money will come, the things will come.
You ready?
I've been saving up all my pennies in my piggy bank for this day.
Today's all we got, so we cannot stop. This is our block.
In the heights, I hang my flag on display.
Cheers.
It reminds me that I came from miles away.
This is crazy.
From miles to the heights.
Best days of my life. And I built my little dream, my sueñito.
In the heights,
The late nights, you taste beans and
Here.
rice. The sip of a shaved ice. I ain't gonna
Washington Heights.
like the street lights. We're taking the flight to a couple of days in the life for what it's like in Washington Heights.
This looks great. Well, going by the trailer anyway. Tell me more.
I can tell you more about the first half hour. I'll tell you what. So Thursday is usually the days I do all the flyers, and I went in to let a very nice man called Tony to help me doing the sound. I didn't realize I was assistant for the day, and I managed to do 14,000 steps this morning up and down from the theater to the projection room, practicing with the sound. So I know the sound in the cinema in Eclipse Bundoran is perfect for this. But I did manage to watch the first half an hour just before I got on air with you. And I have to say, I loved it. I double loved it, Jamie. I had so much fun. I actually had time to watch an hour, but after half an hour, I ran up and stopped and went, no, because I won't be able to leave and I won't be on Zoom with Jamie. It was so much fun. Now, one of the reasons this is coming out right now, it's the idea we've often talked about of counter-programming. They think, oh, the football's on, let's bring out a musical and maybe the girls will like it a bit more and so on. But they always forget about people like me. I love my sport, as you know. Yeah. We text each other off air and I'd be glued to the football and so on. But I also love a song and dance, and especially with this sort of music. I've never been for the Sweeney Todd sort of sing-song style. This kind of more modern, that melting pot of American music, and people will have listened to that and gone, I watched Hamilton, that sounds familiar. And that's exactly it. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda's. This was his first big Broadway smash, and what it's about Washington Heights in New York, just north of Manhattan, where all the Latino and African Americans live and it's big, you know, as I said about America, that melting pot. When it works, this is what it is. And there's a young guy called Usnavi. A funny reason he has his name, but I don't want to spoil it for the movie. He's from the Dominican Republic originally. He's running a bodega. He dreams of the girl and going back home. There's another girl who's the first one from the Heights to go to Stanford College, but she's struggling and she's afraid if she drops out, she's going to let her neighborhood down. I was singing. I was dancing. I have downloaded the soundtrack already. It's brilliant. It's great fun. And Shane, I think you would really like it. And I know you like some musicals, not all of them, but I think it's that sort of music that if you watch it, you will probably try and find a song to put into the soundtrack on Ocean Drive. It was really good fun. Now, maybe everyone in the next hour and a half turns into serial killers and it's a horrible, deep and dark movie, but I don't think so. Given the first half an hour, I left it at a song routine in the beauty shop, in the beauty parlor, where they're all with their long nails hitting out the rhythm. It was hilarious. It was fun. I loved it. It's great. It's summer. It feels like summer watching this movie.
But it has history. It played 5,000 times in Broadway or somewhere.
Oh yeah,
so
like
it has huge history. This.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a lot of live musicals, so I wasn't as familiar with this before Hamilton was such a mega smash. And I suppose he was allowed to do a 4-hour hip-hop version of the founding of America because he'd had such a big hit with this. They went, sounds weird, but we'll let you do it. Nobody thought it'd be as big a hit as it was. But he wanted to make this into the movie first. And it's so cinematic. It really works so well. New York's never looked better. And we're getting West Side Story coming out afterwards, and there's such a connection between the two. So I really recommend the first half an hour really highly, and I imagine the rest continues. Loved it.
Okay, that's In the Heights. We're going to wrap up. Let me see, what have we got? The Hitman's wife's bodyguard. Did you get to see this?
I did not.
No,
but I did ask some people coming out of it what they thought of it, and it was a couple, and the fella said, I didn't like it. And I went, oh, were you disappointed, that, it wasn't as good as the first one? He goes, no, I really hated the first one. And I was going to go, why did you go and see it? Then I found out because his girlfriend went, well, I really liked the first one, and I thought this one was better. So I suppose that's romance for you, isn't it? That's what you do for, that's what couples do. So I think the case is, if you liked the first one, you'll really like this. If you didn't, maybe go see something else instead. I know I've talked so much, we're running out of time, but I did.
We're grand. We got a minute.
I did catch up with A Quiet Place too. Oh my God,
yes.
Seamie. Oh, it was good. And like on my way in, my friend Carl texted me and said, "I don't think there was a reason for a sequel." And after about 10 minutes, I was as tense and nervous. And I tell you how good it is. I have to do the timings of the end of the movies. So I had seen what happens in the last 2 minutes already before I watched it, and I was still as nervous as a kitten watching it. It's so tense, it's so good, and it's so clever. The whole setup of A Quiet Place, I don't know, universe, the world, is so clever. I absolutely loved it. It has been a smash hit, and I think it's not going away anywhere because people are only catching up with it now. I loved it.
And
It's
the
really
only
good.
place to see it is the cinema.
Oh yeah,
It's made for the cinema.
because of the, it's so quiet, and then boom, those big subwoofers kick in. Sorry, Teddy, one driving there. Kick in, and it's just brilliant. The dark, and I watched it in the sunshine during the morning and came out freaked out. Brilliant stuff. Great. Look, it's a great week for the movies again.
Thanks a million, Collie. That is Collie, our man at the movies up there in Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. Get to the cinema. It's the summer for the cinema, isn't it? It is indeed. We talk to you back here on Thursday. Thanks,
Can't wait,
Collie.
JB.